Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Joe, and today we're gonna have some fun playing DOMINARIA United Spellthief copies. And yes, the new set is out, the rotation has occurred. That means we can actually start having some fun playing DOMINARIA United decks. And this one is a great way to start it off with. So this deck is based around Ivy Gleeful Spellthief, and this card says whenever a player casts a spell that targets only a single creature other than Ivy, you may copy that spell and the copy targets Ivy. So, since we are playing a deck based around that, we have to have a bunch of spells that target only a single creature, and hopefully targeting creatures other than Ivy. So I think you'd usually want to build this to be more of a Bant deck with Illuminator Virtuoso and like Homestead Courage, but I decided let's just go ahead and take out that third color and let's only play Simic. So I think the deck works pretty well this way. But you can definitely try it Simic if you guys would like as well. So I went ahead and kind of rearranged this deck so that we can see what it is trying to do. So on the left here, we have all of the spells that are going to be targeting our creatures. So for example, we have the Shore Up, which gives +1/+1 until end of turn and Hexproof. We also have Tamiyo Safekeeping, which gives Hexproof Indestructible and gains 2 life. And then we also have a 1 of Slip Out the Back. Usually you might be wanting to play a little bit more of this, but I saw the Tamiyo Safekeeping and I like it better because if we're wanting to cast this spell on our turn when we're trying to attack in, we don't really want it to phase out because we still want it to do that damage. So this kind of helps us protect from any spell that might be cast on our turn and still lets us deal some damage. Of course, we also have the Negate. I'm so happy that's gotten reprinted. It is awesome against any type of spell that is trying to kill our creatures. So of course we got to have that in there. And then we have a 1 of March of Swirling Mist. We don't really want too many of this guy in there because since the deck is based around spells that target a single creature, March of Swirling Mist targets multiple creatures, so we don't want many of it, but this also protects very well against a Meathook Massacre or any other type of board wipe. All right, our second column here, we have our creatures. So of course we got our Ivy Gleeful Spellthief. We have Suspicious Stowaway. This is going to help us draw some cards. We have Stormchaser Drake, which is going to help us draw some cards. And then since we are kind of playing a card draw, a little bit of a mechanic, we have Faerie Vandal in there, which is going to get bigger and bigger every turn that we're drawing more than 1 card per turn. It also has Flash, which is awesome if we want to throw it out there as a blocker, and it's just a generally good card. And then lastly, we have our Errant Street Artist. So my thoughts are that with Ivy Gleeful Spellthief, we're going to be copying spells, and those spells aren't going to be cast. So my thoughts are that we can copy the copy to have a total of 3 spells from 1 single spell, and then, you know, kind of target our creatures, get super big, and swing in for a bunch of damage. I don't necessarily know if that's going to work. I haven't really been able to see it go off in a game, but if it does, super sweet. That would be awesome. I would love to keep this card in the deck. Alrighty, and then lastly, we have our third column here. We have our enchantments. We have Combat Research. So this card is really awesome with our card draw kind of synergy here. We're going to target a creature other than Ivy. If Ivy's on the battlefield, we can copy it, and then that target will copy Ivy. So now we can be drawing even more cards, which means more creatures, which means more spells to stop the opponent from playing what they have. And then we also have our Security Bypass. Got to play this guy. It helps us draw cards, helps us connive, and it also makes the creature unblockable if it isn't already, kind of like our Stormchaser Drake or our Faerie Vandal. And then lastly, we have a new card from DOMINARIA United. It is Vesuvan Duplimancy. And this card says whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact or a creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that artifact or creature, except it's not legendary. So I really like that last part where it's not legendary because we can target our Ivy and then it would copy the Ivy, and that copy is not legendary, meaning that the legendary rule, of course, does not apply. So that means whenever we would cast another spell, even if it targets the second Ivy, we can have that go onto the other Ivy as well. So this deck can definitely go absolutely crazy. I am super stoked to be playing these new cards here. It just brings this whole like new thing to Magic. It's like we got new cards, we got new combos, and a whole bunch of decks coming your way. So make sure to subscribe if you are liking what you're seeing so far, because we got a lot more DOMINARIA United decks to come. All right, I think that is it. Let's go ahead and hop into some games. Let's have some fun playing Spellthief copies. Ooh, this hand is really solid if we get land. We got Security Bypass with our Ivy, so that means we're going to start copying some enchantment spells. We have card draw with Suspicious Stowaway. I hope we're not up against, you know, black or red with all the removal spells so that we can just play this on turn 2 and not have to worry about it, but we will see. Game. Oh, game. I love that. I hope we're not up against black or red and it's just black or red right off the bat. Ooh, okay, we gotta watch out for Leyline Binding. I almost guarantee that's what's gonna come out. So they already have, yeah, they already have 5 types of land. That is so sweet. The Leyline Binding is gonna come out. They can flash it up for 1, but it's 1 white. Since that's the case, let's go Suspicious Stowaway. If that gets Leyline Binding, that's fine. They can also, looks like they can probably play with fire it. Cut down, yeah, that's a good card. Cut down is so good for the early game. You gotta be playing 4-0s of that if you're playing black. Yep, holding up the low lane here. Can't speak. We gotta slip out the back. Since that's the case, let's try for Ivy. Maybe. No. I really want to get the value from Faerie Vandal, so let's go to combat. Looks like they got something to play. It's probably just the binding. Otherwise, yeah, we'll just pass. We'll flash out Faerie Vandal on your turn. Get the value from that. Those could be 5-color legendary creatures. We'll see, I guess. This could be an interesting game. I think they beat us with legendary creatures, like, no doubt. Soul of Windgrace, yeah, it could also be... I don't know. Yeah, probably just ramp. It is a legendary creature, so... it's unfortunate to let that resolve, but it's got to resolve. We'll go ahead and flash out the Faerie Vandal. On my turn, we get another Ivy. Okay, so we don't really have to worry about losing this one. What I'd love to do is put Security Bypass on the Faerie Vandal and copy that, put that on Ivy. And I think we'll do that this turn. We could also block and then phase out, phase both of them out. I think there's more of a chance for them to respond to that, though. Let's go on the aggressive side, I guess. Let's put this on Faerie Vandal. We will take action, copy that spell onto the Ivy. Go ahead and swing, and it'll draw us another card. Give our Vandal a, I think that's a heat. Yeah, I think it's probably a heat. Anyway, alright, doesn't matter. I don't want the Thran Portal. We'll discard that. We get a counter there, and we'll pass. So hopefully they're just gonna play something of their own here, since we are no. It looks like it's going to be creature deals damage to another creature, possibly. What are you looking at my graveyard for? What is all the things? So gains indestructible, gain 3 life, draw a card. They can draw a card here. They can do some things. No blocks. Might be worth it to block because maybe they have Meat Hook here or something. They say go. Okay, I will take that. And gladly take that. Alright, I think we just go ahead and swing in with both here. Yeah, ideally they should have done something on their turn if they had it, so maybe they just don't have it. We'll connive twice, so that's a counter on Faerie Vandal, no doubt. I think we'll probably discard the Ivy here. Put a 1/1 counter, and conniving, negate. I like that probably more than March of Swirling Mist. Flip out the back protects both of them. March Swirling Mist is good against Meat Hook Massacre. We have protection here. Maybe throwing down slip out the back. This is just value though. +1/+1 counter, that's huge. I think we do throw down the March Swirling Mist as much as I don't really want to. And we don't have shore up, so we can't really untap our creatures, but we have some great evasion for whatever they have to play here. I'm surprised no Leyline has come down. I also could be totally wrong about that name, but I think, yeah, it's just the binding card with domain. Gotta be watching out for that. It is so good. So essentially, like, when they played the 5 colors right off the bat, it cost 5 less to cast. So essentially, it's a 1 mana exile target non-land permanent. So each non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less until temporary lockdown leaves the battlefield. So I can negate that. I think that's probably going to be the play. And we don't have to really use our slip out the back. That's really good against target removal. Slip out the back or safekeeping. Boseiju, who endures onto the security bypass. We could give that Hexproof an indestructible. Yeah, I think we do. They have so many cards in hand, though. That's the problem. So it says Hexproof can't be the target. And then we counter that. Alright, so we survived one turn. I really would love a shore off the top here. I think having evasion would be better than anything else. That is so cool. Yeah, they bring the Boseiju back. That works awesome. Alright, go to my turn. Untap. We'll just go to combat and swing in. Gotta be a little bit afraid about this guy, but I think we have lethal next turn. We can even protect our creatures. Come on, give us something better than that. Give us a protection spell, and we get the Tamiyo Safekeeping. Okay, so I think with that, we probably win it. That's 2 spells to protect from whatever they got in hand. Unless they can buff their guy or play Titan of Industry. Yeah, they could definitely do that. But I guess we could just swing in unblocked with Faerie Vandal. So I'm guessing there might be a Titan of Industry coming down. They'll gain some life. That would be really unfortunate. We could slip out the back of their Titan of Industry, still having the Tamiyo Safekeeping if they don't play anything on our turn. And then we have 8 damage. I think they gain 4 from Titan. So it might just barely not be enough. Alright, so do we want to slip out the back? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they can't Titan here. I don't think that's going to happen. So let's go ahead and slip out the back. It'll give us a counter. If we target the Faerie Vandal, it'll just copy it, targeting Ivy. We will take action. We'll get the counters. Yeah, so that is going away. Such a good card. My goodness, we're going to have some fun playing like mono black mid-range or something crazy. Paragon, okay, that is a blocker, but I don't think it's enough. So once during each of your turns, you may play a land from your graveyard or cast a permanent spell with mana value 3 or less. If you do, it gains, okay. Permanent spell is temporary lockdown, but I think that is still not enough, and they don't even have the land to play it. So with that, I think we just win it. Soul of Windgrace, yep. The land card from your graveyard onto the battlefield tapped. They get the island back, and it comes in tapped. So yeah, we go down to 5, and I think next turn we are just going to take the win here. We get a Stormchaser Drake. And I want to do crazy things, but I don't think there's really any reason to. Let's just go ahead and swing in and take the victory. We could have swung in with 1. I don't know, maybe something would happen, but yeah, they just go ahead and concede there because we did have the victory. That was really good. We didn't do all of the copy shenanigans, but we did get to see how security bypass went onto the IV Gleeful Spellthief, and that really added up over time. I mean, that's 10 damage right there with 2 creatures that start out super small. So that is really cool. I'm really glad we got to beat that deck. I think if they had better cards, we probably would have lost this one, but it was perfect to draw into this Tamiyo's. I felt super safe, and it was just awesome. So great game there. Well, we got our Ivy, we got Vesuvan Duplimancy and protection spells. This is going to be a keep. We also have Thran Portal to play for our blue. I like this. We need other creatures to make this totally worth it, but protection and Ivy, even especially with Duplimancy, like if we can make copies of Ivy, that's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll go ahead and play our Thran Portal, and we'll say go. Sigarda as the sleeves here. Hopeful Initiate. Looks like it's probably going to be Boros aggro, but we'll see. I don't really want to play the Ivy because I think she's going to die. I'd love to have a protection spell. So I think instead what we're going to do is actually just go ahead and pass the turn. We will flash out the Errant Street Artist and probably just block with that. Bloodthirsty Adversary. Yep. Shocker. It's going to be aggro. Cool, so they'll go ahead and attack, and before blocks, yeah, they get their training. Cool, cool. Before blocks, will play our Errant Street Artist, good blocker. And we will, it doesn't matter, block one of them. Down to 17. I think we do pretty well against aggro decks because our creatures are just big enough to block them. It's unfortunate if they have a lot of burn in their hand. That does hurt, especially with Lightning Strike coming back in Standard. I feel like that's going to go in a lot of these Boros aggro decks. All right, we'll play our Forest. And yeah, probably just Ivy here. This is actually really solid. Yeah, this is really good because we have 3 awesome combo pieces. We really just need to live long enough to Duplimancy and be able to target a creature. So we'll go to combat. Of course, you can't do anything, so we'll just go ahead and pass. And we could, like, Tamiyo Safekeeping, block the Bloodthirsty adversary here. And then I'll give Indestructible to both of these guys because we would target both of them. Play with fire. Yep, we'll go ahead and Tamiyo Safekeeping on the Errant Street Artist because since that's a single target, we will take action, copy it, and put that on the Ivy Gleeful Spellthief. So we essentially just gain 4 life there, and they're like, yeah, I'm not swinging into that. So that was perfect. Thran is going to come in tapped. Unfortunately, we'll definitely do it for blue. And I really want to keep the shore up here. I wish we had that other blue source because then we could copy it again. We could untap. So I think we do swing in here. I have a chance they have a lot of, or I have a feeling they have a lot of burn in there. So we'll swing in with Ivy, be a little bit more aggressive on our turn. Shore Up does untap a creature, and it gives Hexproof. So I think we just gotta do that and say go. We have enough for Duplimancy next turn. I'd love to not have to play this, and it looks like I won't. And with the Sunrise Cavalier, that's a training trigger for Hopeful Initiate, so I'll probably swing in with those two. Go to attackers. And swing in with everything. Okay. Doesn't entirely make sense to swing in with the Bloodthirsty, but I'll take it. We'll take 6 here. Down to 14. Gotta start doing stuff. I really wanted to land. This deck, it just hurts, man. We just aren't getting the cards that we really want to see. It is super unfortunate. Well, we could just shore up. Honestly, let's just get the Duplimancy down. If they have burn, then it's pretty much over anyway. But if we can start making copies of Ivy, that could be really, really good. It depends on what we draw. I think our next card depends on our place in the game. It's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 damage here. And yeah, if they have any type of damage spell, Lightning Strike to the face, something like that. Angel Fire Ignition. You'll take action on that. That is so cool about Ivy is that, oh, you play something awesome? Great, I'm going to benefit from that. That is so cool. Yep, so they're going to swing in with Bloodthirsty Adversary. They get the training trigger. That is really cool. We're definitely going to block here. Thanks, I know. It is so sweet with Ivy. We take advantage of, you know, them having good stuff. Ah! Come on. We really need better cards than this. This isn't necessarily terrible. So we could shore up onto the Stormchaser Drake. And since that's the case, we're going to go ahead and swing in. Stay a little bit more aggressive. And yeah, just say go. Hold up the shore up here. Yeah, so it's going to be really good. Whenever you cast a spell that targets only a single artifact, create a token. So I wonder if that works for the copy as well. They're playing Calling a Professional. We don't want that to target our Ivy. So we'll let it resolve, but decline. They do on the Errant Street Artist, they're tapped out. I would love to draw a card here. Maybe get a Tamiyo's off the top, but I think we do just got to protect our Errant Street Artist. It is really darn good, especially when we're getting here into the late game where we have the mana. So we'll create a copy of Errant Street Artist. We will copy the spell, take action on the Ivy, so now we have a great blocker. And damage can't be prevented, but it was prevented. And with that, the opponent scoops. Sweet. I don't really think the opponent should have scooped there. I think there definitely was a chance that they still won it. I guess I don't know what was in their hand, but that was really fun. If we got another card off the top, we could, you know, target the Stormchaser Drake, and then we can copy that spell putting on Ivy. We'll copy the Stormchaser Drake. So we could have done a lot of things. We could have done the Errant Street Artist copying the copy. Oh, we could have just done so much there. So that was a really fun game. Glad to take the win in that one. Wow, another great hand here. Ivy, Gleeful Spellthief. We have Security Bypass and we have Protection. This is definitely a keep. I really like this. Yeah, we'll go blue just so we don't show that we have a Tamiyo Safekeeping. Pass a turn, probably up against enchantments here, but we shall see. Forest, and do we play the Ivy? If it dies, it sucks. And Selesnya, I don't think they're gonna play anything to get rid of the Ivy. So let's just hope that they're playing enchantments here. Because I don't think there's any... Okay. Here's Briefcase. Alright, we'll take that. Cool, you create a token, no biggie. We will play Thran Portal. Or blue. And probably just Combat Research here. What's a Security Bypass? No, I don't really like Security Bypass that much. It just makes you discard, but this is perfect. It gives her reward. Such a good card. I wonder if the Magic people's like design cards specifically for other cards, because I feel like this was designed perfect for Ivy. It's in the colors. It says if it's a legendary creature, it has ward 1. So yeah, just a super good card overall. All right. So we can kind of dodge a lot of spells just simply because of that. We can't counter that, unfortunately. So destroy target, artifact, gem, or non-basic land. I think we're going to want to destroy the Celestis here. They do get a land. I think it's definitely the call. So we'll Boseiju, destroy that Celestis. No value for you. Okay, they can't counter it or anything. They got an option to do something. And they get white. Oh yeah, so they're 3 colors. Okay. I'll go to my turn. And we get an Errant Street Artist. Okay, that's perfect. What we want to do is play the lands, and then we can Errant Street Artist, and then Security Bypass. I don't really want to target the Errant Street Artist with a Security Bypass, but I think it's definitely better. So we want to wait until we have the mana to copy the copy, because I think then we'll get a bunch of value here. And I should have saved that for their turn. That was dumb. Yeah, it definitely would have been much better to save it as a blocker, as an interrupt for whatever they have. We got Faerie Vandal. Yeah, a little bit of misplay. I don't know if it'll hurt us that much. I like Faerie Vandal here. That's definitely a much better card to put the Security Bypass on. Vanquish the Horde. Alright, well, we'll protect the Ivy. And lose this Errant Street Artist, that's fine. Yeah, that's not a big deal at all. Totally okay with that. Flash out our Faerie Vandal. And again, if we had that flash, we would have had both of them. So we have another Ivy here. Luckily it has haste, so we'll go ahead and put this on the Faerie Vandal, copying it, put it on Ivy. All the copy shenanigans, go ahead and go to combat, swing all in. Hopefully getting another protection spell here. We do have a backup Ivy just in case, and with that the opponent's like, yeah, not having it. Yeah, that was a good game. I think we probably would have taken it. We had great protection, and we had a lot of power coming in right there and a lot of cards, so that was a great game. A little bit of a misplay, but not the end of the world. We'll take it. Wow, talk about mono blue. This is card draw. We do have to spend life, and they were on the draw. I think I still like it. If we get an Ivy, it's really good. And if the opponent's playing... Okay, they're playing Leyline Binding. I love that you can... Oh, we get an Ivy. I didn't see that. That is perfect. I love that you can almost like tell what they're playing just based on, you know, if they're playing a trio. So since that's the case, we'll have to play Suspicious Stowaway. Their binding costs 2. Actually, I think it costs 3 because it's blue, green, white, and they only have the other white. Yeah, so it'll cost 3. Ivy would be great. But I think we're fine doing Suspicious Stowaway here. It's card draw, and then next turn, if we need to protect either of them, we can Tamiyo Safekeeping. Tamiyo Safekeeping or slip out the back. Yeah, this is actually a really, really solid hand. Hopefully we get a land next turn. I don't want to miss out on that. What are you doing? Playing artifacts? What? Add 1 mana of any color, tap an untapped legendary creature you control, add 1 mana of any color. Sweet. Okay, so we don't get the land yet. It's definitely not... Oh, that actually really sucks. We really want the land. We'll swing in first. Land off the top. Oh, it's not. I was hoping if I said it, it would happen. Probably discard a Stormchaser Drake, and then again, we can't really play our Ivy just because we know that they're gonna do something here. If they don't, it would be really beneficial to get this down. But let's just go for another Suspicious Stowaway. It gives us more chances to draw cards. We'll take one, see what they got going. There's a lot of cool artifact synergies that came Dominaria United. Looks like they are playing 4 colors so far. It might be 5 color legendary tribal because this is a legendary kind of a artifact. And with that, they get the red. So yeah, this is going to be a legendary tribal Shieldred. Shoot, dude, that's gonna suck. And we don't get the land, man. What is going on? Alright, we'll swing in. And no lands. Oh, that hurts. No land? Oh my... Deck, what are you doing? What are you doing, Deck? You gotta stop it right now. Cut it out, man. This is so rough. We got 2 lands. I don't know if we have 23. I'll have to check after this game. But this is nuts. I don't know how many cards we drew, and we don't have land. And we are getting wrecked by the Shieldred. Okay, let's look. So we have Shore Up, we have Tamiyos, we have Slip on the back. That's 3 protection spells. I don't think we need all 3. I'm going to discard Slip out the back. I'd love to have a Stormchaser Drake, but yeah, we lose 2. That's going to swing in for 4. Let's try and go Ivy. I think it's our only hope to get down Ivy here. We take more damage. Oh, the Shieldred is going to destroy us. But yeah, they'll probably have Leyline Binding and just get rid of the Ivy for 1. So broken. So good. I love that it encourages players to play more colored decks because of like the domain ability. I think it's really cool that it says, you know, usually you'd only play like 1 color, 2 color, but it's definitely a different... Oh, that hurts so bad. Yeah, if we had a land, it would have been a different story. And there's the land. A turn late. We should have waited. Come on, Joe, be patient. Yeah. It's not necessarily over, but it's over. So we'll go ahead and pass. We'll see what we can do, but I don't think we're going to get anywhere this game. This is nuts. No land at all. Till forever. We have Tamiyo Safekeeping to keep the Stormchaser Drake safe. We got a block here because we're dying otherwise. We are going to draw a card anyway, which means... Shieldred, why you gotta be like this? It's really good against our deck. No doubt. It really kind of shuts it down. Alright, so it does get it. So we do block. We gain the 2 life as well, so we don't necessarily lose anything. Invoke Despair could suck. Celestis, okay. Yeah, maybe they just don't have what's in... Okay, they got 1 card in hand, so if we can find a way to pull this out, I am going to be stoked. Yes, Celestis does its thing. Cool, cool. And they did play a spell this turn. I think this is activate only as a sorcery, right? Yep, okay. Oh, they discard the Raven Man. We have a negate. We drew a card, so that means... Have a Tamiyo Safekeeping, so that negates. Oh my goodness, we just really can't target our creature because it has us draw cards. This is over. It really is. Yeah, because playing this just has us draw cards. Playing this has us draw cards. We could flash out the Errant Street Artist. And then just like keep up the Tamiyo Safekeeping, drawing a card from that. I think that's probably the best way to go about this. So we'll swing in. Down to 24, and we really just have to flash out the Street Artist and pray. I mean, this is what I get for playing a deck with no removal. Even a Fading Hope would help. Just get the Shieldred off the board. Yep, so they think they got it. We'll go ahead and flash out the Errant Street Artist. If it gets countered, and we lose anyway. It looks like it doesn't. We will sack it there. We could give it Indestructible. We're not really going to be copying spells though, so that's fine. We'll just hold the Tamiyo Safekeeping. They gain a life. We gotta watch out for Meat Hook. We gotta watch out for Shieldred. Actually, we just die next turn. Yeah. We could give the Shieldred the Hexproof and Indestructible. Oh, with that, it's just good game. Yeah, Ziatora just sacks the Shieldred and we lose that. Oh my goodness. Yeah, cool. Play your thing. Cool. We'll get out of there. That was a that was literally the massacre because we just couldn't find the land and we don't have enough removal to take care of the Shieldred. So maybe that's something that we'll have to add into the deck. It's also really good, actually. I mean, it would be target. It would be a target spell to have like Fading Hope in here. I kind of wanted to focus more on the combo and having fun rather than, you know, being super competitive. But tough loss. That is something. Okay, we got Combat Research, Stormchaser, and some card draw. Thran isn't necessarily ideal, but I think this is definitely a keep here. Lots of opportunity to draw into our Spellthief. Lots of opportunity to draw into more protection spells, but overall I think we're just doing well. We need land though. We'll play our Island and Sego against Phoenix. So we're playing against, I've seen a lot of domain decks so far. Lots of 3-color, 4-color decks that are just playing lands and stuff. It's really cool to see. You know, it gives you also kind of like ideas to brew different types of decks. So really excited to get into Dominaria United and you know, be playing all these kind of crazy stuff. We don't get a land. It's another Stormchaser Drake. I think we do go. We do go Stormchaser Drake here. I'd rather do that in Combat Research on it, drawing 2 cards that turn, giving us a chance to get the land for next turn. So Spirited Companion, and it's Azoria so far. That's odd. Okay, we get the lands. Let's go ahead and Combat Research anyway. Perfect. It'll get +1/+1. We get Security Bypass. Go to combat, swing in. We could have played Security Bypass there as well. I don't want to put too many eggs in one basket, just for any shenanigans that they might have. Do we want to hold up a Shore Up? It'd be nice to have a flash creature here, but I think we go. The second Stormchaser Drake. I'm actually confident that they don't have anything here. So let's get that down and pass the turn. I'm guessing green's going to come down here. I'm surprised they're playing blue at all, but who knows? It's crazy stuff. There's a lot of cards that rotated out too, so you got to kind of, you know, change your decks around. And with that, the opponent scoops. All right, I guess we'll take that quick win there. I think that was still a good game. You know, we had a lot of great cards. We can kind of see, you know, exactly what we could have done. We might have won that. Who knows? Alrighty guys, so there you have it. There was the Spellthief copies deck, and we are playing Dominaria United. I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long just for a new set to come out, for a rotation to happen, so we're not stuck with all of these same old decks. And this one was a lot of fun. We didn't necessarily go absolutely crazy with the combo, but you know, with a combo deck, that's never really gonna happen. What I'm really happy about is that we got 4 wins and 1 loss. If you consider that last game a win, I do, because we were doing stuffs, and that's cool. Then that is really solid there. And it was that stupid shield dread that really just caused us such a problem. And since that happened, I would almost throw in Fading Hope. I think it might be a really solid card to also protect against board removal. But a big reason also why I don't really want it in there is because let's say you have a bunch of enchantments on your Ivy or a bunch of enchantments on a certain creature. If you're trying to protect from a board wipe, Fading Hope is going to return them to hand, meaning all those enchantments go away. So that's why I rather have, you know, Slip Out the Back and your like March of Swirling Mist and stuff. But yeah, I mean, when I was kind of building this deck, again, I wanted to focus more around, you know, combat research and security bypass, because it copies an enchantment, which is really, it has a ton of value to copy that and put it on another creature. And then we don't really want to have much phasing out abilities, because chances are they're going to target our creatures on our turn. So we still want to swing in and deal that damage. So phasing them out is just going to stop us from being a little bit more aggressive as we were trying to do. So I think the deck was a lot of fun. We copied things. We had fun playing Magic, and I think that is really what I wanted to get out of it. I didn't really like Suspicious Stowaway in this deck. I think it's almost too slow. It helps us draw cards and it goes well with Faerie Vandal, but I might even just take out Faerie Vandal, like take out 2 of them, take out 1 Suspicious Stowaway, try and throw in maybe even another card, another targeting card. You could put Fading Hope in there. You could go another enchantment. That would actually be really beneficial. And then maybe 4 of Errant Street Artist. I kind of wanted 3 just in case, you know, the combo didn't work, but we figured out that it does. It is a really, really cool use of Errant Street Artist. I was looking at this before the new Dominaria United came out, and I was like, I want to build a deck around that, but there's not enough cards to do so. So I think this card is just going to get crazier and crazier as the standard develops, as the format, as new sets keep coming out. But so far, it's still a really great card and is a lot of fun. Vesuvan Duplimancy, what a really cool card. It's great when you need chump blockers, but it's a little slow. If you want to play the deck much more aggro, I would take this out. I would run 23 lands. Let's see, are we running 23? Yeah, so we're running 23 lands. You could honestly run 22 lands and throw in another enchantment in there, go full on like aggro, and just not worry about this, because it doesn't really benefit you that much. On turn 4, you're going to want to be playing more enchantments than you are wanting to be playing Vesuvan Duplimancy. So I would probably take it out and just go more aggressive with this deck. Otherwise, it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun playing this. I'm so excited for Dominaria United to be out. We are going to have a lot more decks coming. So if you did like what you saw today, make sure to subscribe and leave a like, because I wouldn't want you guys to miss out on any more fun Dominaria United decks. Alrighty, with that, I think that is it for me. One last thing, if you did want to see the deck list, it is in the description. You can just go ahead and click that link. It'll take you to everything that you see right here. Alrighty, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.